Get your high quality H2O ready because today Adam and I are tracking down the filming locations from Adam Sandler's The Waterboy. Hi everybody and welcome to the world of Micah. Today we are tracking down the filming locations from one of my favorite Adam Sandler films, The Waterboy, starring Adam Sandler, Henry Winkler, so many amazing people. Kathy Bates is in this, Veruca.
She's not gonna break any legs.
She's no legs in this, but we are gonna be we're spending a lot of time together today. Today is gonna be a trek all over.
Speaking of favorite Adam Sandler movies, I'm wearing an appropriate t-shirt.
It's a baseball player. You're cheating.
It's not a word, it's a baseball. Different film, still Sandler.
We quote Sandler films all the time, but Adam from The Daily was hanging out with me. You guys are gonna get the tag along. We're gonna go find majority of the filming locations here in Central Florida from The Waterboy. Now, let's take a closer look. And our first location is supposed to be the Louisiana swamps. As you can see, the hanging moss looks just like Louisiana, but this is where the cast and crew set up and filmed Mama's house, Mrs. Boucher. In fact, her house was right over here on the other side. And this is the wide shot right here where Mama's house was, and this is the tree that gives it away right here. And that's the tree. Now, if you look right there where it starts twisting, see that? This tree still twists right here. It's a little difficult to see with the sun, but there it is, right there, it twists. So, the house was built right there. Now here's a shot of Kathy Bates and Adam Sandler, Mama and Bobby, right here in front of the tree. And they would have been standing right there. So Adam was literally standing underneath this right here, the way it kind of curves up. There he is. And Kathy would have been standing in the foreground, but she was right here. And you get up here and look at this tree, Sandler's not that tall. He's probably about my height. And they built a little pier out here, and you can see the picnic bench. And they went straight out in the water. And they had their barbecue right here. And then you see Mom's house and Bobby right around here. The house was built in the distance here on the other side of this tree. There's a shot of Kathy with the tree on both sides, and she's kind of standing, I believe, underneath it right here. And it's more or less looking back this way at the house, because Mama's house was legitimately filmed and built right here in the swamps, in like this little marshy area. All this was Mama's house. Crazy. Gotta be careful. Look at this starting to sink in.
It almost seems like the water's way higher now than it was then.
It probably was, man. Yeah. Probably totally was. This might not have been, you know, the edge here. Right here, this is where Vicky Valancourt took the grilled gator, ripped the guy's head off, and ate it. It's so cool. It's where Mama embarrassed the crap out of Bobby Boucher, showing his bed sheets. Man, what a funny movie. I love this movie. And it's so cool to be standing out here where they filmed Mama's house. And there's kind of a picnic bench here in the same spot, more or less. Just like in the film, this is not the picnic bench. But, yeah, you could come out here and eat some gator if you wanted to yourself. Pretend you're Bobby and Vicky having a barbecue. More or less. But he has to wear 2 pairs of socks. That's his bed sheets over there. Mama, please. Now I'm just speculating, but I think this could possibly have been the road that Adam Sandler rode his lawnmower on getting home. And my reasoning for that is because it kind of matches up the way it looks. I'm going to try and find that white fence. But the road and everything, this whole area looks the same. All right, that's a wrap on Mama's house. Moving on to the next spot now. All right, made the trek down to St. Cloud, Florida, where our next location is. And before we head over to the location from the Waterboy, gonna throw in another tidbit of information. Both Adam and I have done the filming locations from the Herschel Gordon Lewis horror film 2000 Maniacs that was filmed down here in historic St. Cloud. It's kind of a deep cut, but we both did the locations for this. And the reason I mentioned 2000 Maniacs is because they also filmed inside the Hunter Arms Hotel here, which is where in the Waterboy they had the party scene after their first win. So we're gonna go inside and match that up. But Adam got to come down here and meet some of the cast and crew.
In the back alley, saw Perusa Bach back there and Henry Winkler. Didn't get to meet Sandler though. I had to go to work that day. I worked at Publix then. My sister got a photo with him though. I was pretty jealous of that.
That's so cool.
Got to meet Sandler when he came out of the back of this.
That's awesome, man. It all took place here inside this hotel. And on October 28th, 2018, I met Henry Winkler at the Salt Lake City airport. I was on my honeymoon, coming back home to Orlando. I had just woken up on the plane, flying back from LAX to MCO. And I was in the airport and I heard a familiar voice say, "Wow, that's fantastic." And it was the Fonz, Henry Winkler. And I walked over to him and I said, "Mr. Winkler, can I please get a photo?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely, just come over here." So he walked away, he kind of looked around. I think there was some paparazzi or something there because he was with his wife and his daughter. And he was like, "Act like I just said something funny." And it made me smile and laugh, and he had a good laugh. He met Abby, told us congratulations, and that was it. Pretty cool. We're gonna go inside the Hunter Arms Hotel and show you guys where the frat party took place. This was the victory party after the big win. Everybody was there. So when they open the door and Bobby shows up with the frog cakes, look right above his head, there's a little like overhang. That overhang is right over here. Right over there. That's where he was standing. And they had some extras hanging out there too. Got a better view. Now see right above Sandler? Right there. That's the overhang. All this is where the extras were hanging out. Yeah, the door has definitely changed here, but that's the door now. And then when you walk up, this is where the Sandman would have been standing right there. All right. We are inside right now, and this is where the party took place. The staircase right there is that staircase. Now, it has changed since filming, but this is it. And there's that window to the right of that football player there. That window can be seen right there. It all matches up. Yeah, he brings the frog cakes. And the 2 lamps, as you can see where they're sitting, they were sitting here. And right there you see the Colonel, and to the left of him is that window. It's on his right, our left, and Bobby Boucher standing right here, and this is where that angle is, right there. How cool is that? And then the 2 girls who were talking to Bobby, right here to the right of that girl, you see this door, that's it right here. So they were standing here. In the background, they blocked off the main door. They put like an American flag and a bunch of banners and lights and stuff. That light right here, I believe, is that lighting fixture And then behind it, they put the American flag, as you can see. And they put a random umbrella in here, but that right there, that door, is that door. And that's a wrap on the party. That was super fun. The lady inside was genuinely excited that we were doing this, and she was kind of walking around and looking at the spots with us.
She was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. You don't really get that with locations, especially people who own businesses where they film stuff. And we've made it to our next location, which was the location for the Bourbon Bowl in the movie, but today they're doing the Pop Warner Super Bowl here, which is ironic. But the Bourbon Bowl was filmed here inside Camping World Stadium back in the day. It was the Citrus Bowl. Now Camping World Stadium, but this is where the Bourbon Bowl took place. Now if you watch Adam's video, he talks about how he and his sister and their friend were extras in the stands. It's pretty cool. He had pictures of like
pretty cool.
Sandler and
yeah. Adam Sandler was there. You see me in a lot more. I was watching the Blu-ray last night. I was pausing it frame by frame. You can see me a lot more in there than I remember I could see myself in there.
That's
I'm in almost every scene.
That's like a new challenge.
You got to look with a magnifying glass though. And I had bleach blonde hair, and I was about 180 pounds lighter.
Find the woo. That's it. That's the new challenge. Watch the Waterboy and find the woo. He's in it.
I'm there.
But we're trying to follow this. This is the arena here, the stadium, and there's a little section that's shown quite a bit from where they're filming down on the field. And if I can find this little area, we can match one little part up, because there's no way we're getting inside the stadium today.
People in there.
Oh really? Well maybe we are gonna get in the stadium. Yeah, what are the odds that we show up today and they're having a football game here inside? The Cheez-It Bowl. It's not the Bourbon Bowl, but weird, right? Oh my gosh, we're getting in. Look at this. We totally made it in. Totally are in here. This is it. Where they shot the Bourbon Bowl. And if we're calculating this, you can see there's like some offices, like glass here. This right here, I think, has been removed right next to Bobby's head. But right here, where I think that shot was and where they ran out, it all kind of lines up. And then the camera turns behind the Mud Dogs as they run in, and that's right here in this section. Now they removed that Bud Light sign that wasn't here for the game. They kind of, we almost think they CGI'd a lot of this. But there's some offices right there. And then these lights up here can be seen in this photo. There's the office there and those lights above. But this area here wasn't enclosed, and they did not have that screen. So I'm thinking later on they enclosed the stadium right here, because this section looks way newer than the other section. But where we were looking is where the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl. We actually walked around to the other side, and right here is what I'm talking about. This side, it's where they ran out, and this is where the Mud Dogs ran out onto the field, right here. And right here is where they would have ran out. So put your perspective into Bobby Boucher's feet. Right here, the Bourbon Bowl. Still can't believe we got in here. Score. All right, that's a wrap on the Bourbon Bowl. Moving on to the next location now. So there was a spot that Adam and I were trying to find for so long, kept talking back and forth, where the Bayou Hospital was. Now back in the day, there used to be a Navy base here. We are in downtown Orlando right now. No longer exists, as you can see, but this is the area they shot the hospital scene, where Mama is being hospitalized, and the town folk all gather, and they all hold up the cups with the lights in there. But this is also the scene where Mama wakes up, she realizes that everyone's on Bobby's side, and she changes her tude, and she tells Bobby about his dad Roberto. Yeah, the Bayou Hospital was out here. Adam found this location. Pretty awesome. So if you want to know more about it, watch his episode.
The search no longer continues.
Which is also why I'm glad we both did this video together, because like I said, he and I both had spots and locations, and it kind of made sense just to team up together and put them all together. So yeah, we are at the hospital location now, which is awesome, because that one I racked my brain around for so long, but Adam, he did it.
Thanks to old newspaper articles.
That's it.
Honestly.
Newspaper
It's
articles.
the only reason I figured it out.
Dude, awesome. Don't knock the newspaper, man. Don't knock it.
Hard print.
And our next location is here off of the St. Johns River. Now, the reason we can't get any closer is because it says here, flooding has caused this boat ramp to be closed. So this is as close as we can get. But right here is where the pep rally scene happened with the whole football team. And Jerry Reed shows up and disrupts the whole thing. This is also the famous spot where we see, you can do it! Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in this area here. We kind of found out, pinpointed when we got down here. If you watch, there's a riverboat, and Adam was talking about the riverboat. It was only in for like a second.
Yeah, it's like no point even being there.
Yeah, and they drove that huge tour bus down here, which there's plenty of room for a tour bus. But there's also a seafood and bar over here. And I wonder if they borrowed some of the lights and stuff, because they had Christmas tree lights out here, like Christmas lights dangling all in the woods here. But this is a very pivotal scene for Rob Schneider's character. Another crazy thing to tie into this restaurant up here says Seafood Steaks Swamp House Grill. Still tying in with that Louisiana swamp, which is kind of why they chose to film here. Hanging moss trees. Besides these palm trees here, this looks like something you would see out in Louisiana for sure. And with that, we are moving on to the next location now. The sun is starting to set. We're almost finished. This has been an all-day adventure. It's pretty crazy how everything was spread out in this film. I mean, they would film like different locations that are within an hour from each other. It's kind of crazy, because most filming locations are all done, you know, in the same vicinity. But with the Waterboy, man, they covered some ground in Central Florida. But we're doing it in one day. Yes, we can, and yes, we will. All right, we have made it to the next location, which is Spec Martin Memorial Stadium. This was the home of the Mud Dogs. This was the home of the Mud Dogs football field. And it's so dark. It's so dark. That's a bummer. Can't see anything in the stadium. Yeah, this is what we were trying to show. All of this. I can at least show you guys this scene when we found that building. But everything's blocked off and locked up for the evening. Can't get in. This is the field that Bobby tackles the guy for the first time. It all took place here. Shooting on the phone right this second because the low light is better. This is like the only thing I can really show you of the field. Scoreboard here. Now Adam was telling me they basically took all the money from the Waterboy and fixed the stadium up. So everything's changed for the most part. But it still, as you can see, goes up an incline, and the fields on the other side of that goes straight down. Yeah, that building is brand new. That's where it said Mud Dogs in the stands. And down there's the field. Yeah, this is about the best I'm gonna be able to show the Mud Dogs field. But that's all right. A lot of people have shown this location. Adam and I are showing a lot of locations that others haven't shown. So the film is getting covered. And right across from the Spec Martin Stadium is this building that we were talking about. This was where they filmed the interiors for Coach Klein's office. It was all shot in here. All right, that's a wrap on this location. Moving on to our final destination. And welcome to Stetson University, where right out here is the water fountain used in the Waterboy. He goes to class with Derek Wallace, and he says, "Why do you want to sit so far away? There's seats up front." And Bobby says, "Because of the view." And he's talking about this water fountain here. And here's the shot. Now look behind that water fountain. See that light pole there? That light is right there above Adam. That's the same light pole right there. That's pretty cool. The Waterboy fountain. Man, this was confusing. So this is the pivotal scene where Bobby finds out his mom's been in the hospital. Now, this building straight ahead is right here behind this cop car. And the cop pulled up, and used to, you could actually pull up to where Adam is standing way over. This is the Carleton Student Union building. But all of this has been redone. If you go on Google Images, like Google Earth, and look up the Carleton Student Union at Stetson University, it'll look completely different out here. You can actually see the way it looked in the film. But the car drives all the way up here, which you no longer can drive through here. It's nothing but walkway now. And Vicky Valancourt and Bobby Boucher walk out of this building after he gets a 97 on his exam. And right here you can see Bobby and Vicky Valancourt walking out of this building here. There it is. And then it's a cut to Bobby's point of view. And then right here is what he was looking at. The cop said, "Bobby, your mom's been in the hospital." Right there. That was it, but you no longer can drive up here. It's just walking only, which is why it was so confusing to find this spot, but we did it. Now we're moving on to the next location here, where he took his GED exam. Now this one was a little difficult to find, but I found it. This is the gymnasium that Bobby Boucher took his exams in. And the reason I know, if you pay attention to the top of the windows, you see how it does an X on the very top, and then it's like a normal window on the bottom. Well, in this photograph, if you look at the top of the windows there, it's the same design. Also, that door right there, I'm pretty sure I can go up to where that door is and where he sat and took his exam. If you look right here next to the door to the left, you see that's like a fan, like an old school fan. And then right here on the outside of the window, yeah, they're on both sides. Right here is that one, and then there's another one to the right. So this one right here we're looking at is this one. And then painting over to the door right here is that one right there. I wish we could see inside, but it is a full gym inside here. But yeah, right in there, history was made. Bobby Boucher got a 97 on his GED exam, and he could go back and play football for the Mud Dogs. I can't think of a better way to end this episode than to look at this high quality H2O right here.
Water sucks.
Gatorade.
It's better.
Gatorade.
You're drinking the wrong water.
Oh man, that's so good. But we came, we saw, we took care of business. We can do it. Yes.
You can do
We
it.
can. Yes.
You can.
Yes, we can, and yes, we will.
We did it. We successfully found the filming locations for the Waterboy starring Adam Sandler, and I think the adventure for today has come to an end. Which means it's time to say goodbye. If you enjoyed this episode, please click that thumbs up button. Check out Adam, the Daily Woo's episode, and his view through his lens of the filming locations of the Waterboy. We did this.
H2O.
We did this in one day, dude. That is not an easy task. It can be done,
We covered a lot of ground.
but pack your patience. But it's fun. We did the hard work for you. Now you guys can go off and find the locations yourself. Take photos, tag us in it. This was a lot of fun, but it is time to say goodbye. Stay weird. Goodbye.